afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast. With me, your host, Imperial Dane, master of propaganda, hero of the Reich, defender of the fatherland. We're off here to an exciting 1 versus 1 on Holotny Family Winter between Pappy O'Daniel fighting for the United States of America. For the 4th Infantry Division, holding up the line here as the Germans clash towards it under the command here of HelpingHans, fighting for Germany, for the Reich. For the 2nd SS Panzer Division, Das Reich. Loading 2 riflemen there for Pappy. Bulletins are large infantry here with a single rifleman veterancy bulletin there for Pappy. We got a charge there of rifle company on top of things. So in that regard, veterancy will certainly not be one of his bigger issues this engagement. Hans, on the other hand, going for encirclement doctrine. Now that's definitely going to be an interesting matchup there then. That's definitely going to be an interesting matchup there. Second gun escort there on the way for Hans, who's not going for a dual pioneer start. Heading towards the center here for the munitions point. Wiring off here. Pretty common stuff. Pretty common. Victory point there being secured. We got a bit more spread though. Looks like Pappy here might be going for the northern field point. Likely to sort of deny Hans it. Might also be heading towards the south one following. No, he's actually going pretty heavily for the north there with 2 riflemen squatting where. We got the riflemen taking up position there in a preparatory stance for Hans moving up there, I imagine. Which is pretty much going to force Hans either to commit a lot of forces to the north here or head south, which is going to be a lot harder for Pappy to actually sort of fortify due to the sheer lack of buildings. Looks like Hans does in fact react there, shifted the pioneers and Grenadiers south, while one Grenadier squad continues northward. We've got a 3rd one on the way there for Hansi though. Looks like he might actually go for the cut-off point there to sort of deny any sort of attempt from the fuel, at least immediately there in the south as well. Thus ensuring that if you can't at least get one fuel point, he can at least initially deny Pappy O'Daniel having both fuel points, which is certainly sensible thinking. In this case, he's actually sort of immediately vacate the building, which could give Hans a chance to get in the building, getting behind the rifle and getting off some good shots there. So in this case, we've got Hans is going to deal there, sneaking forwards. Forced away from here, there's got more riflemen. We got them here already called in with the lead rifleman training. Thus, they start out with a bit of veterancy already, and they'll be close there to veterancy. To, of course, the bulletin will only speed that process up.
Alright, you dopes, listen up.
So 3 Grenadiers versus 3 riflemen. 4 Grenadiers then on the way for Hansi. Which definitely makes way there. He's actually going for the fuel point up north as well. And interesting enough, there's been no immediate response there from Pappy so far, though. Again, taking the long way around it, so basically occupy the building, in which case our defense is going to be very difficult then for Hans to maintain. Well, a real position there, he's going to have to roll back rapidly. Without, or otherwise he's going to suffer some nasty loss. On that regard, you know, sensible unit preservation there after a sensible assault there by Pappy. Roughly trying to secure the few munitions point here, but not having any success there due to the lack of cover, due to the barbed wire there, taking loss. We've got pioneers flanking in. In this regard, I would suggest Hans actually to sprint in, of course, minimising the amount of time he's exposed out in the open and getting close to the rifle immediately. Instead, though, he just walks in and immediately begins taking already 1 casualty there. I'm pretty sure he could have avoided 1. In fact, there we go, almost the entire pilot. Actually, just lost the entire unit. So in that regard, that was a bit of waste. In fact, short the rifleman gain veteran too, so that I think could have been executed a bit better. And again, I would have, you know, suggested sprint. At least he's going to get the southern fuel point there, although Pappy is pushing in there with some rear echelons. No taking up so far, just 4 Grenadier. What shall Hansi do next? MG46. No, he is taking up and getting some pioneers after that. The 4 Grenadiers versus 4 riflemen with a notable veterancy advantage then to Pappy O'Daniel. Rifleman here, we got rifleman taking from the north as well. Things going to be ugly here. Jack though went down there, shot down by a few accurate shots from a German infantryman. Johnny and Harry joined in pretty rapidly after. In fact, we might see a squad up here already then in return for Pappy. Then again, maybe not, maybe not. Sliver of helper looks like they're now focusing on the chaps inside the church. At the same time, the fighting here in southwards continues to intensify a bit. Right here, we're not reinforced. Looks like, there we go, Pappy realised they had not been fully reinforced. He's actually gone up to 5 riflemen. That's pretty heavy stuff there. That's a bit rarer to see an American player actually do, but looks like Pappy is feeling pretty confident that with the very infantry approach he could force back Hansi.
Gather round. I smell orders.
A capture point is being overrun.
There you go, Raven pushing in. Pioneer at the right. Still some time before he can consider getting out to stormtroopers.
Orders!
Overall, the Hans is now getting seriously pressured here by the sheer amount of rifle attack from all points.
Point is under attack.
Squad, get ready!
Raven there forced away again. I mean, he's still getting off some bleeding there on Pappy, but it's starting to look a bit dangerous here. Now we got two veterans, two Raven squads there, which is definitely going to present quite the obstacle to Hans. Of course, it's not going to be completely without sort of issues here for Pappy. Of course, he's going to be providing a lot of manpower to reinforce all of this squad. So if Hans can sort of keep things up reasonably well, he can provide quite the bleed there on Pappy and give him sort of a bit there to work with. Bunker up. Guessing like to make a nice company might follow up then. Right, mid striking towards here. There's absolutely nothing yet to screen the fuel plant and cover it. We got a bit of movement up north. Most of Pappy's forces at the time being back in the base. We got an ambulance following up there.
Steady up.
Right, striking forwards, and there we go. Stormtrooper arriving here for Hans, and the second SS. Das Reich. Not enough munitions there to get any upgrades, partly because he got that medic bunker. Otherwise, he could have gotten himself some assault rifles already for the stormtroopers, which, considering the sheer amount of infantry that Pappy has, of course, would be a good idea. Of course, question is Hans actually aware of it? Because there's a difference between seeing a lot of infantry and then there actually being a lot of infantry. But no, he's actually getting up Panzerschreck. He's clearly worried about M20 rush. In that regard, actually goes for Stormtroopers with Panzerschrecks. Now, that's actually pretty rare to see players use them. Not necessarily because they're bad, but generally people generally go for it in that direction. So interesting option there. Of course, it is cheap to go for that. Just 75 munitions there, which makes it comparatively cheap when you consider things. Ports have been secured. He's cutting off onto the fuel, but at the same time, northern fuel has been secured here by the Stormtroopers. Veteran SS Panzer Grenadiers of Normandy und the Eastern Front. Standing back there a bit. Warming their hands. Panzerschreck bereit. They also get the armoured vehicle detection ability once they've upgraded. There we go. Rifle strike from the north. Stormtroopers will have to counter that. Interesting enough, this build, for example, no sign here of sprint being utilised by Hans. And of course, in that regard, considering what doctrine he's gone for, he might also want to consider a munitions cache. If you consider there's only one munition port on this map, I mean, in that regard, a munitions cache might prove to be the wiser decision. But anyways, we've got engaging up rifle caught here between the Stormtroopers and the Grenadiers up north.
Squad, get ready!
And the rifle now quickly pushed off the field here, unable to withstand that kind of firepower being leveled against them.
Stand ready!
We got Pappy here going for the captain. And again, pretty unusual. Got a second Stormtrooper squad here by the church, engaging riflemen, quickly falling back though towards the church.
Watch your distance! Shift your fire! Orders incoming!
Well, that's weird. For some reason the icon is both here and there. That's a new one. Alright, they're striking northwards, encountering again the Stormtroopers. Minor losses then inflicted. Second Stormtrooper squad moving up. Again, sprint. Sprint! It's a nice ability to use. Instead, though, they just slog through the snow there, but there we go, arriving to support their comrades. Riflemen slowly bleeding out there, taking up position in the church, holding back the Grenadiers from supporting up north. Like to make those companies up, but why does it keep doing that? What an absolutely weird bug. Anyway, Stormtroopers there securing the building there, holding up positions for the time being. But the captain arriving here for Pappy Daniel. He's not so far exposed, in which case Hans will not know yet ready that they've gone for that. So that might give it a bit of time there.
Operations advises a severe cold
And of course, might give Hans more time to think he's going to get hit by something. So there you go, captain arrives. Option for the assault rifles is very much up there. He's got the munitions for it. He's got the munitions for it. I would certainly suggest going for it. Quick rifle in him. Got flamethrowers up for Pappy, increasing his firepower versus the Grenadiers at closer ranges. The part of me might also consider suggesting to him he might actually want to get some Browning automatics while he's at it. Flamethrowers are nice, but certainly only at certain ranges. BRs, of course, can also provide a bit more firepower than all ranges plus while moving. Stormtroopers actually abandoning the building here versus the captain. Not entirely sure that was worth it. In particular, to get closer, which only makes the captain here. Never mind, we see a full retreat there from Pappy's captain.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Still remaining a strong point there for the Americans, reinforcing, taking up further. Obviously can't sit around there forever.
Has been upgraded.
Needs to get some armor out. And the Stormtrooper there with the one punch strike aren't going to cut it. I'd still like to see the Sturmgewehrs up there. I mean, that would be a good mix. And certainly, considering how much infantry on the field there is assault rifles. No, he's going for a second punch strike. A bit disappointed. The tactical advantage would, I think, give him a quite strong chance there versus Pappy Daniel's massive infantry force for the time being. And of course, in that regard, I mean, considering how much infantry Pappy Daniel has, he should consider upgrading. I don't think he should get all flamethrower. I think he should go for a mix of flamethrowers, but also Browning automatics, in which case he should also consider getting up a munitions catcher himself to sort of support that. But really, this is a kind of large infantry force, so you should do your best to sort of support it with the variety of weapons. Infantry advance going up northwards there. Storm to continue to hold up the building there while waiting for Sir Panzerschreck. Almost got the point secure there. And there we go, right from attacking forwards. And there we go, Grenadiers attacking forwards to support the Stormtroopers who are quick to fall back. He could have actually just used the field aid there kit to sort of heal them up instead of having to retreat them. Would have saved him a lot of time. And a bit more broader engagement down south. Lots of ammunition troops. The Stormtroopers force back. No attempt at grenade there from Hans or turn the fight his advantage. Oh well.
We are losing a sector.
Going for the central munitions point. Pappy though is pushing back Hans, and we've got Pappy there taking up as well. I mean, there's plenty of time there before getting EC8, so going for a regular tank there might work. Though of course he could also just go on for a Stuart light tank in the process. Then again, with all the Stormtroopers out, I suppose he might not have been feeling that might have been a very brilliant idea. Meanwhile though, Hans is already getting his support armor caught up. In fact, it is up. He could already now go for Sturmgeschütz to support things, I suppose. A Flak Panzer or a Panzer IV. We've got anti-tank guns here, by the way, for Pappy as well. Clearly not taking any chances with Hans either. Bit more stretch, small attacks there towards the south. Pappy here wants to pull these rifles back. They are not in a good condition. Oh wait, those guys just need to die. They can stop sort of messing things up there. It makes it difficult to see what the hell's going on here. And there you go, two Stormtroopers there taking the rifle inside the building. Just blasted apart with the Panzerschrecks. They're still going to take quite some time to do that. Quite some time indeed. Troops reinforcing, getting ready for another push, getting more flamethrowers. No attempt at consolidation here from Pappy to continue getting some Browning automatics. Can't help but feel that's a minor mistake, if anything. Hans' forces are getting slowly pushed back. He's getting pushed off. The northern few, but the southern one might also happen soon. At least getting cut off. Stormtroopers are having minimal luck getting the rifle inside the building. Really should have gone for some assault rifles, I think. Close again, looks like Hans is not going to bother with anything but Panzer IVs.
Our lines of supply are disrupted.
Which I suppose indicates Hans might be feeling a bit unsure about what's going to come next, in which case he's just going for the safer options, which is generally always considered a Panzer IV.
Stuka bombers stand ready to break their supply lines.
That's everyone.
Got a Sherman there on the way. A good choice there considering Hans' current force composition. High explosive rounds will be able to tear through a lot of Hans' forces. On the other hand, Hans is himself getting closer to the Panzerkampfwagen 4. So of course have to see how this actually evolves. A bundle raid here might be a good idea from Hans' troops. No, it's actually just rear echelon troops. Annoying bug. Point there being secured. And should There we go, able to call in the Panzer IV. And we got White Phosphorus called in there. Willie Pete. Massive barrels there knocking up the arch. Smokes some, well, something pretty nasty. And the anti-tank gun, he's not actually well positioned. He's not really got a lot of room to maneuver in. So it's a pretty risky position then that Pappy set them up in. In this case, though, seems to have not backfired on him, though. But Sherman moving ahead. Not enough munitions there for the 50 caliber. Still high explosive rounds have been switched over to the Panzer IV. They're running for Hansi, slowly but surely. Until then, though, he's going to have to rely on the stormtroopers to basically hold the line.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
Captain there doing his best to keep back the Grenadiers. Interesting enough, there's been very little attempts of Hansi actually using anything besides the 2 stormtroopers called Service Doctrine. I mean, no sprint either at all. Bit disappointing that, but there you go. Panzerkampfwagen has arrived. And there we go, the stormtroopers in a bit of trouble. We got a large American force and lots of riflemen with flamethrowers. Promising only pain and misfortune. Hans actually had a mortar into things that might actually work out. But there we go, the Panzer Force really things that are going to get fun there for the Germans. Pinter machine gun on the way.
Enemy has broken our supply lines.
And there we go, flamethrower bursts open as a mortar round cracks it open alongside the heads of a few other Americans.
Squad, shut it. We are receiving new orders.
Moving ahead there with the Panzerkampfwagen 4. No Pinter machine gun there on the... Oh, there we go, 50 caliber on the way. And switching out armor piercing rounds now to deal with the threat of the Panzer IV. I suppose you could try and bait it closer to get hit with an anti-tank rifle grenade and then let the Sherman deal with the Panzer IV, but no. In this case, HelpingHans taking a safe distance there. Not willing to be surprised by anything, hiding behind the fence. Sensible tactical move there, if anything. Anti-tank hit. Pappy does seem to have a bit of a bad habit there with the anti-tank gun in that regard. Allowing it to be, in this case, easily cleared out. They've got reinforcements quickly rushing forward. This riflemen basically draw the attention away from that. At the same time, another minor engagement here. Stormtroopers being pushed away. Lots of fighting in the centre. Hans has barely got any territory at the moment. We've got an MD-42 now arriving. Interesting, interesting. Maybe sort of try and contain all the infantry that Pappy now has on the battlefield. We've got a Jackson there arriving. To help deal with the Panzer IV. Not too bad.
MG-42 team is... The enemy is taking our territory.
Sherman rolling by. Panzer IV doing nothing. I wonder what Hans might be doing for. Oh, good hit there for the mortar. The veterans who won almost eventually 2 already in that one strike. Impressive. There we go. Panzer strike connects with the Sherman. Good shooting, Fritz. Now, of course, one thing is to keep in mind that Panzer strikes were usually sort of handed out to teams that are sort of given with 2 apart, usually 4-man teams actually. That way, forming tank hunter teams in that regard. Usually, infantry squads were more likely to have had Panzerfausts. So, little fun fact there. The German moving in. So the rifle put straight into line of fire with the Panzer IV, which is immediately opening up. And there we go, fire pit down. MD-42 covering this attack, going to make it much more difficult for Pappy O'Daniel's infantry move out there. That combined with the mortar, which Hans might, by the way, want to get up here behind the remnants of the building, so to get close to the front line. Would do quite a bit of harm there to Pappy. You've got the Jackson arriving. Panzer IV falling back. Stormtroopers doing what they can there to cover the retreat. Mining engagement of the rifle, actually losing altitude to the Grenadiers. We've only got 1 infantry unit here so far with the light machine gun engine up. It's not any of the veteran fleet. Oh, huge white phosphorus barrage going down in the centre. Flamethrower tanks bursting up. It looks like our rifle squad has finally been lost. A bit of a beat there for Pappy. And Stormtrooper need to fall back as they are severely outnumbered and outmaneuvered by American infantry, and of course got the armor here still fighting on as well. Pack 40 on the way. Hans could consider getting up a fuel cache to minimize the constant fuel drain he's suffering due to the loss of fuel points. That would certainly not be a bad idea, or just consider munitions cache, sort of get something a bit more out of the rest he's got.
A peg gun is ready for orders.
But Panzerwehrkanone there.
The enemy is
Almost
attempting
virtually
to steal
two.
our sector.
That's definitely only going to make things a bit more unpleasant there for Pappy.
The territory is out of contact.
Otherwise, reasonably quiet. Now on the side. I'm not quite there yet, slowly getting ready. Hans looks like to be striking northwards there, basically where Pappy is not, which is largely centre south. So in that regard, that's a pretty solid move by Hunter here. Good tactical and strategic decision. Though he needs to get that Panzer IV prepared, but otherwise, basically here we see him already preparing for the immediate counterattack there from Pappy. MD42 covering here. We've got Stormtroopers with Panzerix nearby as well. I imagine there's a Pack 40 here covering. Yep. So in that regard, once the assault comes, Hansi will be reasonably prepared because he's expecting the opponent team to go through here and not through here. In which case, if Pappy actually goes through here, Hansi's going to be a lot less prepared for this. Does not seem to be the case. He's actually drawing him in.
Artillery is ready for use, Commander.
And there we go, Veteran T2, which is only going to further pressure and bait Pappy into sort of attacking through there, which case things are going to get more unpleasant.
We have 200 points
Yes, it's caught there by the MD42. Looks like Force Hugging snug up here instead, and in the end, Pappy resisted the bait laid out by Hans rather viciously and belligerently. Now Hans is doing his best to sort of shift over to sort of prepare for that eventuality. Got Jackson joining in as well. Stormtroopers hiding behind the old wooden cart. Got a Scott on the way, interesting enough. I mean, considering what doctrine he's gone, he's actually so far seeming uninterested in the EC8, which I think would actually be a decent idea there for Pappy. There you go, White Phosphorus Barrels on the Pack 40, Panther 1 Infantry. Got Stormtroopers revealed. Coming further for Sherman, but Sherman misses. Still, Hans has regained one fuel point, but that's about it so far in his advance. Driving up north, a bit of trouble. There we go, Panther connecting with the Sherman. Pack 40 ready as well, and there we go. Captain trying to flank in, but the MD40 is not shifted. And the mortar's almost veteran T3 already. Impressive. But it is time here for the mid-game analysis. The current situation is both players got almost more or less equal strength forces in some regards. I mean, they got the same population, they got plenty of infantry, and a bit of armor for Hansi. On the other hand, he's got plenty of anti-tank weapons. He's got Panzer Strikes, he's got Pack 40s with a second one on the way, compared to a few bazookas, an anti-tank gun, and a Jackson more or less. So there's a slight, perhaps, advantage there for Hansi there. And he's not really got a lot of territory victory point-wise. Things are not looking good either in that regard. Pappy is more dominating the field. And that's definitely where the challenge is for Hans. Of course, securing the both northern victory points is going to relieve him for a lot of pressure, since basically that way he can cover a lot of vital points on the map, but without having to cover a large part of the map, which will certainly give him a bit of breathing space there versus Pappy. Hans should probably consider adding in some extra armor, either Panzer IV or the Stuka if he wants to go a bit cheaper. That would certainly work out well. So that way support his first Panzer IV, giving him a bit more offensive firepower. I would suggest him actually advancing the mortar up, although then again it's soon veterancy free, so to be able to cover a large part of the map, even from a position like that. But otherwise push it up maybe a bit here to sort of cover a bit more into the territory here of Pappy. And I also think an assault from here and that way would actually work out quite well, with maybe a second follow-up small assault through here to that way catch any anti-tank weapons off guard. Then he could finally maybe also sneak someone down here to basically harass and cut off the territory there. But otherwise sort of a major assault from the north. A part of me would also like to see some caches for Hans, again fuel or munitions caches. And I would like to see a single Storm to score at the very least with assault rifles, so that way gain some more serious firepower there versus Pappy. For Pappy, he's got most of the map, but at the same time that also creates several opportunities there for Hans to attack. So the question is, where does he defend? I mean, the centre home that is a pretty good idea, but again, he probably also wants to focus in the north because again, that's where 2 of the victory points are. If he can hold those, he'll definitely overall hold the upper hand. So it should probably be something like those lines. He should also, I think, consider getting some Browning automatics for his weapons to increase their firepower versus the Germany from that way, giving Pappy more strength. He might need a munitions cache or 2 to support that, but overall he should consider that. I also think he should aim for some EC8s. Overall, I think there would be a sort of a decent mix there between Shermans and Jacksons, since overall so far he's likely only going to be facing off against Panzerforce, in which case a EC8 is a sort of nice compromise, being able to deal with both infantry and armour reasonably well, rather than sort of split things up there. At least that would be my opinion on the man. Of course, the Scott will certainly also help a bit and could certainly be used to sort of deal with anti-tank guns and other nasty weapons Hans might have been setting up. So of course we'll have to see what actually happens, how things actually work out, but that's rather how I might see some things going good for either side. Whew, that was very close. He could have gotten that vehicle crew in one hit.
New anti-tank gun has arrived.
Second pack 40 there, mobilised for Hansi. Centre point, then it's caught big riflemen slowly trying to push up there against the Grenadiers. Looks like the MG4 has been pulled towards here to cover that area instead.
Square away your stations. Lock down the gel.
The M8 Scott, based on the Stuart light tank, armed with, well, pretty much the same gun as the Pack Howitzer, by the way. Latest we've replaced there with a 105mm Sherman. Oh, there we go. Hit on the Stormtrooper, getting one, forcing Hans to pull them back. Got an assault going in there. Heavy fire down the rifleman. Full-on assault there, if anything. Interesting enough, we got no armour there. The Jackson nor the Sherman is supporting this assault. That, I think, is not very wise. I think you should have moved them in. There you go. Rifle squad wiped out. That is not very well there. And there you go. He's finally got the armour moving, but at the same time, not really going off too well. You should at the very least consider having the Scott lay down a smoke screen. But sadly no, a bit of a botch assault there which cost Pappy quite a bit of, well, men. I mean, he got the central munitions point, but I don't think the cost he paid for it was worth it. And that's only going to give Hans there a bit of a more than advantage to push back his opponent. And he's, by the way, got a second Scott. That's a bit rarer to see nowadays. Not saying it's bad, but at this point I rather would actually like to see some EC8s instead. Let's see if Pappy might not make it work. Assault there towards the north. We've got Telemines and preparations as well in this case. Pappy does manage to avoid it, and there you go, Pack 40 sets it off. Mortar by the Richards 3 though, freezing its ass off. Another rifleman squad, they're lost, he's down to 2. Pappy is hemorrhaging all of a sudden. He went from 5 to 2. In less than 10 minutes, that is massive. And there you go, the Sherman as well. Pappy is floundering, it seems. And that's giving Hans a huge advantage. The question seems to be, what does Pappy now intend to do? He's lost a lot in a short span of time. Might lose some soldiers there though. Seems very likely. Ah! No, he barely gets out of there. Scott's doing what they can. Hard striking yourself there, take away territory away from Pappy there. That's good, that's good. Got more rifle there. Rhyming though, that's good for Pappy as well. And again, I really think he needs to consider getting some BAR upgrades. I think that would have done a lot for him in this engagement already so far.
Squad, shut it. We are receiving new orders.
Instead, Hans is the one slowly increasing the firepower of his infantry.
The enemy is taking our territory.
Certainly only providing more dire prospects to the remainders of Pappy's troops.
Ops report the weather is lifting. Stand by for confirmation.
Slamming a lot of territory there. Still having a hard time keeping fuel for very long there for Hans. He's also got too many troops at the moment to call in any more panzers.
Enemy forces are securing our territory.
Not hit, and the stormtroopers almost got the entire unit in one hit. Got the grenades there getting hammered as well. But all retreating, they are largely dodging the shots.
Yes?
Grenadiers, they seem to be... No, never mind, the Scots are setting out already.
Pioneers awaiting orders. Ready.
Interesting enough, he does not seem to be reacting to the Grenadiers down south at all. I would have thought he'd, try and kill them at the very least. At least send them running. That's actually 2 at least. That doesn't quite work. There you go, full assault and catching the Grenadiers. Got the Pack 40 there, which could actually be overrun then seized by Pappy. Scott's pelting Grenadiers there. Almost got the unit panzer falling back here due to the person of Jackson. Almost fixing as well. Not looking. We got the MD-42 coming there though. He might want to get the Scots there to bombard it. Incendiary barrels, not incendiary, but White Phosphorus barrels. MD-42 there losing men as well. Rapid stop. Almost got the MD-42 there, almost, but not quite. A bit of pandemonium there in the centre. But HelpingHans is relentless and keeps it up. Quick propaganda is real. Nicely deduced there by Pappy, quickly preventing his rear from being turned into rear paste. Second Panzer IV there arriving. Looks like Marmo's enemy. Got another Jackson there on the way for Pappy. Again, I really think like he should instead consider EC8 rather than another Jackson. He's got, well, no actual sort of frontline tanks. All sort of either tank destroyers or, well, support tanks like the M8. But nothing that's all really fighting on the front lines. Both got, well, too little armor and too little health. So in that regard, I can't help but feel that Pappy's armor composition might be slightly off, and they actually give HelpingHans a good chance of knocking you out in one rapid strike. Ooh, Panzer IV almost actually 2 there. Still, Pappy's keeping a good stranglehold there on both fuel points, but he's having a bit of a hard time sort of, I think, fully utilising it.
You guys, listen to me if you want to live.
Scots bombarding. Almost got the Grenadiers there. Storms advancing. Almost got the unit. And we got pop smoke there. Veterans on the Scot, increasing rate of fire and accuracy. Which is certainly only bad news for HelpingHans' infantry. Another rifle squad dead there. Little bombardments there. Church collapses. Second Panzer IV arrives to support the first one. Pack 40 creeping forward. Starts getting in northern fuel point for the umpteenth time. Alright, trying to get that pack forward with the advance continues here. Hans is surging forwards. Then we got Pantherfast on the Scots. Might get a Panther forward there, needs a blitz. Blitz! Pack 40 opening on the Jackson. There we go, Vector 2, it's abandoned! Jackson got cooked up there by the Pack 40. Scots, bit of a bad position as well. Second Jackson out of control as well. A definite victory there for the Panzerabwehr crew. Grenadiers almost there turned into a fine pace by the Scots. 19 and 11 kills, about 30 there altogether. Definitely doing that part for Uncle Sam. And he's getting more Jacksons there. Still, there's for some reason a reluctance to use the EC8, which is, I would say, one of the highlights of the doctrine. And it's pretty rare for someone to go rival company and then to not use EC8s at all, so I really have to wonder why. I do feel like, personally, it's a bad decision not to utilise them at all, in particular just rely again on Scots and Jacksons. Versus an opponent like Hans, who's actually got Panzers up and he's got a good mix of anti-tank weapons as well. That's, I can't help but feel, too strong. That is my Pappy. There we go, Panzer IV being repaired. But there is a definite difference in force there. He's almost at half strength there of Hans, who's got more troops and, well, more tanks technically. He's also now got access to a closer pocket, and certainly, I mean, he could just try and sort of cut it off, but even then he could just use it to sort of get bombardment all across the front line here, which I think could also do a decent amount of damage there to Pappy if he wanted. Then again, a good strike here at the right time could maybe catch some units. Heavy bombardment there. Keeps killing those cracks. 21. 22. Almost 52 on the other Scot as well. I mean, they've definitely paid themselves off, I think. Still, Pappy's having a harder time controlling the field. Again, his riflemen lacking the firepower as well. Really can't make any much progress. Again, they had BARs. You know, things might have looked different. Stormtroopers really haven't been able to do much this battle, and again, I do think at least one of them should have been with an assault rifle instead. I think that would have worked out better for Hans with a few good tactical advantages in the right places. Scots upon the north. And there we go, Vector 2 Stormtroopers advancing. Rather bunched up there, that might not work out too well, and ow! Direct hit, wiping the entire unit, dropping a Panzerschreck. Grenadiers managed to pick it up, even as shots are flying around them, threatening to turn them into a fine pulp as well. Panther 4 striking southwards to deal with the Scot, which is actually on its own. Pop smoke! Too slow then getting grown, looks like might have been some pathing issues out of the way. Scott is no more.
It's done. How can we help?
More light machine guns on the way. Mortar creeping forwards. And he's getting another shot, but again, no EC8s from Pappy.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
I wonder what the reasoning is behind it, as I personally can't quite see it myself.
MG42s have arrived.
go though. Pants will take some hits there, wiping riflemen left and right. There we go. Veterans you want, take aim, take aim! It's a great ability, do not be afraid to use it. Stormtroopers looking forward, they got veterans too. Increasing their lethality. Looks like the Jackson actually managed to kill one of them. We got S-Mons there. But overall, rather seems like it's not looking good there for Pappy. He's rather wasted opportunities, not taking strategies that would work the best in the longer term, whereas Hans has slowly but surely sort of gotten back in the field, made some good tactical strategic decisions, that way gaining the upper hand part by part there versus Pappy. Taking advantage of Pappy's mistakes. Got a flare there. Those are red to see. So far to see it utilised.
We have liberated this sector.
Anti-personnel mines planted. Watch for your step.
More mines up there from Hansi. Rather than counting the Panther Fort, Stone moving ahead. Stormtroopers and everything else moving ahead as well. And there you go, almost got the weapon squad. Anti-tank, and we get no intelligence can take aim. Come on. Definitely disappointed then, Pappy, with that. And there we go, got the anti-tank gunners getting murdered. Without much second, fourth Panther advancing. Closing in a bit for there for the Stormtroopers. Jackson on the Panther 4. The Grenadiers for their Panther Trek as well advancing. Bit nasty here. As Pappy's trying to effectuate the defense, but it's not really having much success there. As Hans is putting in everything he's got, they can basically deal with the armor.
Grenadiers reporting.
Panzer here. Ready.
Operations advises a severe cold front is moving
Plenty
in.
of packs,
Prepare for
panzers,
possible
and
blizzard
Panther
conditions.
Treks.
We are receiving new orders.
And not a lot of armor that can actually withstand a lot of shot from any of those things from Pappy.
We fight bravely for the Reich.
Oh, wrecking the Panther Trek. I was wondering what their shooting was. Trying to figure out what it was. Looks like kind of final assault here from Pappy, trying to attack from several points. Armor creeping around the south of the house. They're going to maybe so they go up through here and then straight to the sides of Panzer's forces. Could work out, I suppose. Scott fires, misses. There we go, though.
Be advised, extreme winter conditions are affecting the lines. All units are to take immediate action.
Might try and take advantage of the blizzard to advance without being shot at too much, but needs to keep moving. Victory points are rather close now.
We are losing a sector.
Panzer 4. Yeah.
Rather quiet there, even as he has to move. He's not exactly
Is taking our
doing it
territory.
swiftly. Grenadiers are freezing off to another realm soon enough. Attempt there to get the enemy mortar through. Almost did it.
That's it. Fully reinforced.
Got the MD-42 there running away.
You need something? Standing by.
Enemy force forces are securing our territory.
Rather quiet. Hans apparently not in any rush to sort of deal with his opponent. Must be trying to figure out what exactly it is Pappy's intending here before making any counter move to deal with it. As I suppose what Hans is worrying about, if he makes one wrong move now, it could result in his defeat.
Ready for orders.
Oh, Scott getting closer to Veteran 2-3.
We are losing a sector.
Pappy continues his advance, bleeding out some of Hans' troops. Still not doing great. There we go, the Panthers taking advantage. It looks like Hans has figured out what's going on. Striking in from the centre, realising it's unguarded. Panthers are taking down today. There we go. Jackson is down now. There's only a Sherman with little health and a Scott, and there we go. GG from Pappy. And his armour's getting lit on fire there as the Panthers continue. And there we go. GG. Game over there. Loss for Pappy O'Daniel despite having a strong start there. And recently we saw it mid-game as well. There were basically, I think, a few problems with part though. I mean, considering Pappy's initial strategy of getting a lot of infantry, really didn't build on it. I mean, he should have gone for some BARs at the very least to support them, or maybe bazookas, but something more sort of suited towards them. I mean, he had 5 rifle squads. BARs for them would have made things a lot more difficult for Hans, but he never quite went there. He also, I think, made a bit of thin use there of the company command post. Not really that effective either, I think. And then, of course, we came to the last part there with the battalion command post. I mean, great to see Scott, great to see Jackson, but I think he should have gone for instructional EC8 to at least serve as a sort of mainline armor there to sort of deal with things as well. Maybe having a Scott and a Jackson support it, but nothing beyond that. Instead, it didn't quite work out there for Daniel, lacking something to partly resist the assault or something to lead the assaults. In that regard, giving Hans for this Panzers a bit more of an advantage. But some nice action for Pappy, but then strategically there were a lot of flaws I think there which allowed Hans to persevere. Hans could have made better use of his docks. I rather think it wasn't, well, that much really. I think we saw there by the end a single use there of breakthrough, but beyond that it was stormtroopers, and that was even then his stormtrooper usage wasn't that impressive. They were there for the Panzerx. I would have liked to see one squad with assault rifles. I would also like to see some sprinting overall there for Hans, so that was a bit disappointing. But otherwise, there's some very solid calm game there. He kept, changing approach depending on where Pappy basically sort of dug in. Hans went elsewhere, always trying to get some fuel, always trying to get some resources, not sort of going into any sort of engagements he couldn't win. In that regard, Hans kept a cool head and slowly but surely made its way through the match and won through, well, decisive play and a better strategy compared to Pappy. So real well executed there behind still again. A fuel catch or a munitions catch I think would have worked out quite well for us as well. I might have given a bit more strength in the long run. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed this match. If you did, consider subscribing, tell your friends, sharing with everyone. If not, send in a replay and some feedback in the comment section. This is Imperial Dane saying cheers and thank you all for watching. Bye.